Welcome to Daily Magic, a cozy, growth-minded, sparkly corner of the world. Join me, Shayna Wexler, as we revel in and rediscover the abundant magic that fills our daily lives. So brew up some tea in your favorite mug, settle into your comfiest chair, and breathe deep as we create Daily Magic. Hello, my magical friends. I am so happy that you're here, and I am so joyfully overwhelmed by the amount of love and support that you've already given me about this podcast. And I'm so encouraged to know that even one episode in, you're able to see and sense and feel my vision for this space. It's such a gift, and I've had such an amazing time this week interacting with all of you. So, thank you. So are each of you geared up with your own special version of a Daily Magic tea party? Are you all settled in? Are you relaxed and ready to just share this time together? I am, and I am drinking this really delicious Japanese green tea that has this toasted brown rice in it, and it is so unique, and it's one of my very favorite green teas. And I'm drinking it out of this really cute clay mug made by a local potter, and it just has such a cute shape. I just love how it feels in my hands. I really love mugs that have like unique shapes. And I've been seeing these pink like unicorn shaped mugs, and they're so cute. I just feel like I need to have one. I did like see it in conjunction with like a child using it, but I'm like I feel like I need that. Oh, did I mention that I love mugs? Is that something that I shared? Oh, also, I want to acknowledge that in my last episode, I very fully underrepresented the chai drinkers among us. On Spotify, for each episode, I have created these polls and this question and answer in order to keep us interacting together as a community. And this past week in the question and answer, I asked everyone what their favorite or what their perfect cup of tea was. And almost everyone who answered mentioned some kind of chai. And I was like, wow, I didn't directly say chai at any point in the whole tea episode. So even though I didn't mention it directly in the episode, I hope that you chai drinkers found some just incredible ones in my tea cupboard during the guided meditation, because there is a section for that for you. So I hope you were able to find that. Okay, so today's episode is titled The Magic of Slowing Down, which is a topic that will be very thematic in this podcast. It will be kind of an underlying theme underneath a lot of the topics, and I am feeling so grateful right now because today's the day to record the magic of slowing down. And even though it was in the 60s a couple of days ago, it is currently snowing here, and it's this gentle, beautiful, floating snow that is just so magical to look at. And so I've lit a couple of beeswax candles, and I have these little wildflowers, and I have my tea, and it is just the perfect environment for slowing down. The reason that slowing down is so foundational to this podcast and the topics that we're going to be having each week is because I feel that slowness facilitates curiosity, and that opens the door for awe and for wonder. And when we are standing and orienting in spaces of awe and wonder, the ordinary things get reignited. We're able to see the magic in that. So when you think about that, it's like when we are fast-paced, we take things really at kind of face value with what we're seeing. We don't have time for the curiosity. But when you think about children and the way that they move through life, and as they're discovering the world around them, things we have already, as adults, we've already named, we already feel like we understand, we already feel like we have wrapped our minds around. But when you watch children as they're discovering the world around them, they can become so enamored with moments that seem so small. They can, watching an inchworm moving down the street and just that fascination, when we're at a fast pace, we step right over that inchworm and on to the next thing. But when we can slow down, we can watch that moment, and curiosity comes up in us around, how do they move like that? What causes this? And then we're just able to go, oh my gosh, it's so awe-inspiring and wonderful that we're inhabiting a planet with so many diverse and strange and interesting creatures. And it's this, it builds on itself, right? That's simply by slowing down, we're putting ourselves in the space in order to ignite some curiosity about what we're seeing around us. And when we're in a space of curiosity, then we can be piqued, to be in awe, and to have wonder again. And one of the things that makes life so magical for children is that they are in this state of wonder because so much is new to them. It hasn't become commonplace. When we slow down enough to see the glimmers of awe and wonder again, we are inviting the ordinary day-to-day moments of life to be reignited and to be able to see them through new eyes. It all starts with slowing down. I remember when I was living in France for the first time, I was seeing these coffee commercials all over the place. Nespresso, not sponsored by Nespresso, but feel free to sponsor me, Nespresso. There was something about these coffee commercials that were making coffee seem so attractive to me. And I was like, these are very sexy coffee commercials. And there wasn't anything inherently sexy about it. It was coffee and a person making coffee. But I was just like, wow, why are these so enticing? And I realized it's because these ads are slowed to the point where we are just watching. We are in the center of the moment that is occurring. They're slowing everything down enough for us to actually see the pour of the coffee, to be able to imagine the waft of it as we see that steam rising from the cup, right? They slow everybody down. They slow the moment down. They slow the coffee down. You see them wrapping their hands around the mug. You see them slowly breathing in the aroma. You see them take that first slow motion sip, and you see them really tasting that coffee. And then that gentle smile is on their lips, and they are just present in that moment. What they've done in those commercials is they've slowed down a moment that a lot of us do on a daily basis, or at least once weekly, or however often you each drink coffee. But they've taken something that's very day to day, and they've brought us into the center of that moment, so that by watching the ad, we can actually be experiencing the moment that in our own life we tend to bypass really quickly. And it's excellent marketing, but it's also a really good example of where daily magic is found. It's in that slowing down. I think about romance movies and the way that these scenes between lovers are filmed. And you always see this white duvet and these blowing white curtains and the sun streaming in. Everything is slowed down. We see them delighting in the moment, being present in the moment. All of the details, all of the adjectives that in our own lives we tend to kind of move right past really quickly or never notice in the first place, those are highlighted. The way that they zoom in on the gentle flutter of the drapes in the breeze, or that sunlight as it pierces through and then dances on the floor. We get these really sensual moments that are going on at the same time as whatever action is going on. We are brought into the center of these moments. They slow us down enough to be able to see and appreciate the things that were generally too fast-paced to even notice. Think about your life and think about how many things you once really wanted or desired or worked towards, and you now have those things, but maybe they don't feel quite how you thought they were going to feel. I believe that so much of that lack of alignment between what we think something's going to make us feel like versus how we actually experience it, it's because we're moving too quickly to really be present in what it is we now have. When we were imagining having that thing, we were imagining it somewhat in slow motion, right? We look at a home that we really want to buy. We really want to have this home. We look at it and we're like, oh my gosh, that terrace. Oh, if I had that terrace, I would sit out there and look at the view and drink my coffee slowly with a smile on my face every morning. And then we get that house, but the things are moving so fast that we forget to sit on that terrace. Or if we sit on that terrace, we're on our phone and we're doing emails instead of being with that cup of coffee, being with the view, being with ourselves. We're not present in these moments. It's not that those moments aren't magical, it's that we're not present in them to see the magic. And I want to express that I do understand that we do have very full, very busy lives. Some people have kids and they're coordinating multiple schedules. Some people have very fast-paced jobs. We have parents we're taking care of. There are so many things that fill our lives that they are very full. So when people have the sense, I don't have time to slow down, I understand where that feeling comes from. The truth of the matter is, though, that if we don't prioritize slowing down, we're not really living our own lives. We're not really there for our lives. We're not able to be truly present for ourselves, our experience of our own life, or for the people in our lives and the animals in our lives that we love so much. I know we all desire to show up the best we can for the people and animals and inspirations that we love. And the really great news is that the more that we practice slowness and slowing down, the more consistent we are with implementing that into our lives, whether it be a moment here, a few moments there, the more consistency we have in practicing slowness, the more that changes the pace of our internal state. So in the moments where things are happening fast around us, we'll be more and more prepared to be able to have a slow internal state, to be able to be present internally, to make choices we want to make from a space of presence. And this topic relates to all of us all the time. Ironically, even when writing this episode about slowing down, I was so inspired that I was like moving very quickly around it, getting it all written down, grabbing the inspiration, writing down all the things I wanted to do, all the things I wanted to share. And I was like putting things on my calendar. Okay, I want to make sure I do this. I want to make sure I do this. I want to get content for that for them. I want to do this. And it was like I was buzzing so fast about this. And I was about to go to my studio to record the episode, but while worrying at a very fast pace inside, especially in the mental space, just worrying so fast. And I caught myself and thought, okay, I should probably slow down and record from a space where I've slowed down. So of course, the universe knows best and brought me a snowy, cozy day on which to actually do this recording. But this slowing down, it applies to all of us all the time. No matter how fast or how slow, we can all cultivate more slowness in our lives, both in the external aspect of what we're doing and the internal realm as well. And And now I want to take a moment to thank all of the wonderful donors who are helping to support the growth of this magical platform. And if you are feeling led to contribute as a donor, you can send donations via PayPal or Venmo to Shayna Wexler, or visit shaynawexler.com, and click on the Daily Magic Podcast link. From there is a page for donors and sponsors, and we'll give you all of the information. Thank you so much for your support. Also, if you represent a holistic, cruelty-free, earth-loving product or service that you feel our beautiful Daily Magic community would benefit from, please contact me at shaynawexler@gmail.com to see if we would be a happy fit. And now I would love for us to use the practice of slowness to mindfully open our bodies. So if you're able to come to a standing position, that would be wonderful. You can also do this from a seated position though. Oh, and once again, I remind you not to do this portion with us if you happen to be driving at this moment. Okay, so either from standing or seated, please now thread your fingers gently together. Turn those palms upwards, and then slowly and intentionally stretch the arms all the way up to the sky, really straightening the arms overhead as far as you're able, really reaching and getting a good stretch. If you aren't able to straighten your arms while having your fingers threaded together, you can just gently release those hands and just reach your arms really straight up to the sky, keeping it at that shoulder's width apart. If you're standing while you're doing this, please keep a soft bend in your knees, have your toes pointing forward, and scoop those hips right underneath you, okay? And slowly release this and shake everything out gently, making sure just to keep everything very slow and mindful. Let's do this same movement one more time now that we know what we're doing. So once again, thread those fingers together, flip the palms up, and stretch high to the sky. Good. Hold here. And this time, really bring your attention and awareness to the sensation of stretch that's occurring in multiple places in your body. Hold here and really begin to feel elongation, not only through those arms and shoulders, but from the hips and all the way up the ribs, through that side body. Reach tall with the crown of the head. And once again, slowly release and shake it all out to get really loose and gooey. Good. Good. Now, moving slowly and mindfully, let's take our head gently to the left, reaching our left ear towards our left shoulder. Keep breathing with these stretches. I have a tendency to love to forget the exhale portion of a breath. I do really great deep breaths and then I just hold it. So please make sure that you exhale as well while you're stretching. And as we're holding here, just allow the weight of the head to create a nice stretch. We're using the slowness of these postures to get these really nice elongated stretches. Good. And now go ahead and gently bring the head back up to neutral. Loop those shoulders back a few times. Good. And give everything just a little gentle wiggle. And let's take the same movement to the right side, moving, you guessed it, slowly. Good. And gently release the neck and allow the weight of the head to hang heavy to the right, trying to really bring that ear and that shoulder together, really just imagining them just easily just flowing right onto one another with a lot of ease. Good. Really drop that opposite shoulder down and away for a little extra stretch. Beautiful. Hold for just another moment. And with the big deep inhale, smoothly bring the head back to neutral one more time and give those shoulders another wiggle. Good. Loop them up and back and deep down just a few times here. Good. Beautiful. Okay, and we're going to do a final movement together, and we're going to really begin bringing mindful connection of our breath in with the movement. So I'm going to have you start off by giving yourself a big hug. So holding onto the head of the shoulder with the opposite hand. So grip up high on the shoulder, and you're creating a bit of this triangle shape in front of you where your elbows are aligned one on top of the other in front of you. And simply hold here to start. You should get a gentle stretch just by kind of holding right here. Kind of pull those elbows down and away, lift up through the crown of the head, and just feel that really nice stretch as you're just right here. Continue to breathe. Good. Excellent. A couple more deep breaths. Now we're going to keep our grip right here, and we're going to stay in the same position. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take a big, deep inhale while lifting our elbows and gazing up towards the ceiling. Excellent. And now on the exhale, drop those elbows deep into the belly and bring the head down, really gazing at the navel. Release from the base of the neck. Good, and hold here for a couple of counts, really in a nice contraction. And then we're going to do this motion a couple more times together, okay? If you're doing this from a standing position, really anchor those feet into the ground, keep the soft bend in the knees, and really support through the low spine when we bring the elbows up. Don't get too much of an arch in that low back. And then when we bring the elbows down, we're going to really scoop through the hips and pelvis, creating a really deep contraction, okay? Beautiful. Okay, so let's do this again. Big deep inhale, bring those elbows up to the sky. Exhale, drop the elbows deep into the abdominals, drop the head, release the head, really letting the head hang heavy. Hold for a couple counts, big breaths. Good, don't forget about your breathing. Very good. And again, big deep inhale, lift the elbows up to the sky. Exhale, drop those elbows down into the belly, dropping the head, contracting, and continuing gentle breaths as you hold right here. Okay, wonderful. Now gently come back up to neutral. Release the hands, wiggle everything. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths. And the exhale. Good. Excellent. Okay. Now we're going to do the same movement again with the other arm on top. And this is where you're going to try to remember which arm you just had on top. And you're going to kind of try both and see which one looks right. And yes, so we're going to do 3 of these as well. And we're really going to, again, just really try to feel what is going on in our body as we do this. We're going to enjoy the slowness of the motions, the slowness of the breath, and we're going to just really try to feel what it feels like in our body during these movements. So let's do this same thing again to the other side. We have the other arm on top now. Hands really holding on nice and tight to the tops of those shoulders. Elbows aligning and meeting in front. Good. And now, big deep inhale, lift those elbows up to the sky. Bring your gaze up to the ceiling. And exhale, drop those elbows into the belly. Release the neck and hold. And keep some gentle breaths moving through. Good. Again, inhale, reach the elbows. Exhale, drop them deep. Couple gentle breaths as you hold right here. And each time we have these gentle holds in this contracted space, we're going to really focus on releasing from the base of the skull, from those suboccipitals. We're going to really try to really just Release from there. Let everything be nice and soft. And final one, big deep inhale. Bring those elbows up to the sky. Support through the low back. And then drop the elbows down deep. Drop the head. Couple slow deep breaths. And gently bring yourself back up to neutral. Good. Very, very, very good. Gently release those hands, and you know what to do. Wiggle it all out. Beautiful. Now, those of you who are standing, go ahead and bring yourself to a seated position in a supportive chair or on the floor, or seated with the back supported against the wall, whatever feels best to you in your body right now. And we're going to go into some nice, slow, mindful breaths. So wherever you're seated, I want you to really bring your attention to your sit bones and really try to anchor them really nicely into your chair or the floor. I want you to really feel them anchoring deep. And as you do that, I want you to really gently tuck your pelvis underneath you to help support you as well. Good. And you'll notice that with your pelvis gently tucked underneath you, it allows that low part of your belly to become softer. And when that belly is softer, it allows us to take deeper, fuller, low belly breaths. So we're going to start our breaths really just bringing our attention to that low belly space and trying to get as much air deep into that space as we can. So go ahead and take one or both hands and place them gently on the navel and gently below the navel, that really low belly space. And we're going to just bring the hands here to create some mindfulness and awareness around the connection of our breath with that low belly space. So with your inhale, allow the belly to be very soft and fill up as much as you can, really allowing the belly to really just inflate. And on the exhale, draw the navel in back towards the spine. Good. A few more deep breaths here, just finding a gentle flow of the breath. Taking a really nice deep inhale and allowing that belly to become more and more filled with each breath. Just finding all the little pockets and spaces that air can fill up into. And then drawing the belly back with our exhales. For many of us, we're in the habit of kind of gripping and tensing those abdominal muscles kind of at all time, either for support or just to suck our belly in or whatever the case may be there. But for this breath, I really want you to try to allow yourself to let that go. Let the abdominals relax, let the belly be soft, and let it get as much inflation and space as you can with each of these breaths. For some, this might feel very natural and easy. For others, it might be feeling incredibly challenging to translate the breath into the body in this particular way. Wherever it's landing for you today, that is absolutely fine. Just bring your awareness to what you are trying to create, this slow, soft, relaxed breath. Good. And now, as you're finding the flow of breath, we're going to try to slow it down just a little bit more. We're going to elongate each of these breaths. So keeping the hands gently on the low belly, shoulders rolled back, elbows soft by your side. I want you to really just continue to focus on the softness of the breath as you also try to elongate the breath as well. So let's try to take an extra count of breath held at the top of your breath, the top of that inhale, and add an extra count at the bottom of the breath. Big, deep, slow breaths. Extra count at the top and extra count at the bottom. Good. Continue to find this flow. Good. If your mind starts to wander, just continue to compassionately draw and guide it back to focus on the flow of the breath. Try to stay in this moment. Try to stay in your body. It can be very easy for us to be slow in our body, but still just swirling so fast up in our head space and in that mental space there. So as much as you can bring your awareness into the body, into the breath, into what the sensations are in your body, the more slowness we are achieving. We're creating slowness simply by taking this moment for ourselves. We're creating slowness by moving the body in a slow way. And we're also using the slowness of the body to help facilitate a slower space internally as well. If it doesn't feel easy to stay in that slow mental space, I totally understand. Just continue to gently guide yourself back into your body, okay? Good. Very good. Okay. And now we're going to do one more breath together. And this breath is going to be a counted breath. I will count it for you. Let me explain what we're going to be doing. This is the 4-7-8 breath, okay? So what that means is that we're going to inhale for 4 counts, and then we're going to hold that breath in for 7 counts. And then we're going to use 8 counts to exhale all of our breath out, okay? It's 3-3-3 as I'm saying this to you guys. So 4-7-8, we're gonna inhale for 4 and I will count it. We'll hold it for 7 and then we'll exhale for 8. Now when you come to the hold part of it, I want you to bring attention to what happens in your body. There may be a natural reaction to the thought hold, to the prompt hold, to kind of tense up the body, to get tension across the chest or across the shoulders. Maybe the throat tenses naturally when you hear the word hold. But I invite you to try to see that if on the hold you can keep the body relaxed, you can keep everything soft, and you can just allow that hold. And then you really use your exhalation on those 8 counts. You're going to try to use all 8 counts for the exhale. So as opposed to being done with your exhale at 4, we're going to really try to use all 8 counts to exhale. And this is a really good way to actually just see how much air we can release. Try to keep it moving that whole time. So on the exhale, you're going to really pull that navel in towards the spine for those last couple of counts. The first couple of times that I count this for you, it may feel challenging for one part or a couple of parts of the breath to meet the right numbers, and that is perfectly fine. We're going to find a way into those counts. So don't be discouraged if your body doesn't naturally or automatically know how to find each of those things. We're going to do this at least 5 times, maybe a little bit more, and we're just going to find our way into that breath, okay? Are you feeling ready? Okay. Nice relaxation in the body. Sit bones anchoring in. Hips curved and curled gently underneath you for support, allowing that belly to be soft. And here we go. We're going to inhale, okay? Here we go. And in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now just allow your breath to return to a normal and natural cycle. Stay seated as you continue to allow yourself to find your way back to a natural pattern of breathing. Good. Slow, deep breaths, bringing yourself back into your body. Good. Beautiful. And now I'm going to challenge you. This episode is all about slowness, but I'm going to challenge you to take a couple of moments of stillness. Seated right where we are, we're going to try to become still in our minds and in our body. And once again, when, not if, but when the mind decides to join back in again, just allow those thoughts to just drift away. Allow them to come into the mind and right out. Okay, and then bring yourself back into the body by focusing on the flow of your breath. Those thoughts are going to come in, but instead of trying to reject them or push them out, just allow them to float on by like a cloud through the sky. And I rhymed there and I did not even mean to. That is the singer-songwriter in me. All right, let's take a couple of moments of true stillness. So make yourself nice and comfortable. And nice inhales, exhales, and stillness. Beautiful job. You have done it. Very well done. And when you are feeling ready, you can slowly flit your eyes right back open, bringing yourself back into your space. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and your toes just a little bit. Roll the shoulders, move the head gently. Good. How are you feeling? Are you feeling nice and relaxed, released, present? Good. I'm already excited to do this again next week. And right now in my life, that is a wonderful feeling. Such a wonderful feeling to feel that excitement and that passion for all of this. So thank you, my beautiful, magical, wonderful friends. My wish for you this week, be blessed, be light, and be the magic.